Good morning, everyone. Welcome on our webinar on predatory journals and how to avoid them. My name is Paula Milewska. I'm a customer consultant at Elsevier, and today I will conduct this session together with my colleague Vivian Bareczki, who should join us shortly. For now, I see a lot of people still joining on our webinar, so let us just wait like 2 minutes just to make sure that everyone who wanted to be here live with us have a chance to actually join the webinar. The audience is quite big, so please be a little bit patient. With 2 minutes, we will start. So thank you very much. Okay, I believe most of people are here with us, so let me start the session. First of all, thank you for your activity on the chat. I can see that the whole world is here, and especially Central Eastern Europe countries, which is our region. So I'm super happy to see you all from Moldova, Bulgaria, Czechia, Lithuania, Morocco, Romania, a lot of different countries, Ukraine. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I'm very happy that you had the chance to join us today. Lithuania, Croatia. So everybody is from all around the world. I can see someone from Slovakia as well, and even from Indonesia. Welcome. That's great. Latvia. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Slovenia checked. Super, thank you very much. So I know, where are you based right now? I'm from Poland, so welcome. I think from some of your countries, the weather is nicer than in Poland, but yeah, it's not so bad today. Okay, so let us go back to our topic. So for today, together with my friend Vivian Bareczki, we prepared for you a session about predatory journals and how to avoid them. So this is a very, let's say, important topic, especially now when we can see more and more predatory journals are actually working on the market. And yeah, for you, today's session is like a warning sign, just to make sure that you understand this predatory journals, and yeah, and you know how to avoid them, because this is our goal for today. First, let me start with a few information about the webinar itself. So please be aware that the session is being recorded, so you will receive also the link to the recording. And we have Vivian here, so welcome, Vivian. Nice to see you.
So sorry about being late. The traffic was a hassle.
Yes, and Vivian is from Hungary. Vivian, we have people from all around Central Eastern Europe, and even from other regions. So
Great. Wow. Hello, everybody.
also, yeah, of attendees. Okay, so the session is being recorded, as I said, so you will receive the link to the recording. You will receive it from me today, late afternoon, I would say, okay? You can also share the recording with your friends, with your colleagues, anyone who couldn't join today. So don't worry about it. You can also bring this value to anyone who could be interested in the predatory journals topic. If you would like to ask a question, we already tested chat. It works perfectly good, but also you have Q&A. We will try to manage somehow your questions, but to be honest, it's more than 300 people right now on the session. So please don't get mad at us if we don't see your particular question. You can also ask the question later on via email. So that's good information for you. And the last thing is certificates. So you will be able to download the Researcher Academy certificate. It will be on your name, and this is a PDF, personalized PDF that you can actually download yourself after filling in a short survey. And we will show you how to do it at the end of our today webinar, but also we will send you an email. There will be also the link to get certificates. Okay, so what have we prepared for today? This is our short agenda. First of all, we want to introduce predatory journals. What is that? We want to share with you a definition and some basic introduction information about it. Then we want to cover Scopus content quality and show you what actually can you find in Scopus database. And more practical things in the part about how to avoid predatory journals, with short online demonstration also about how to use Scopus sources. So this will be, let's say, the more practical part of our webinar. And at the end, we also have prepared some links for you with useful resources. So this is our main plan for today. I hope you will enjoy it. Topic is very important, and we can see that bringing awareness about predatory journals is more and more important, and that the education is also in our mission. So that's why we are here together, covering this, I would say, tough topic. Hopefully, you will find something for yourself today, and you will learn more about how to avoid this kind of non-ethical journals. Okay. So yeah, let's start. Vivian, I think you prepared the first part of it, so the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks, Paula. Do you want to switch screens, or you're just going to help me go to the next slide always? What do you think?
I can click.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello, everyone. I'm just going to talk to you about what predatory journals are, and let's try to find a common definition, okay? Because it's actually not that easy. Okay, so where did it start? Well, the term predatory was coined by Jeffrey Beal, and he was alive. He actually is still alive. He's a librarian at the University of Colorado in Denver, USA. And this definition for predatory journals dates back to 2010, because this guy, Jeffrey Beal, used the term predatory to refer to journals that prey on scholars to submit their manuscripts for the sole purpose of making money from these scholars. Okay, and this guy argued that because these journals typically do not undertake any peer review, they're just able to accept large numbers of manuscripts within very short times. So the point is that predatory journals and publishers are in the business of defrauding scientists and scholars. Next slide, please. So according to Martin and Valentine from 2017, there are several phenomena which has given rise to predatory journals, of which publish or perish is very pronounced. And the enormous pressure to publish and publish fast, preferably in very best quality journals, influences both authors and editors. So other factors include technology. It's very easy to set up a website nowadays, right? So through that, you can spam thousands of potential users and get their payments easily. The next factor is inexperience in the online environment. So when you work online with not much expertise to be able to distinguish bogus impact factors and other metrics, you might be up for a predatory journal's activity. Exploitation of open access model means that you pay to publish, and this activity is being misused by predatory journals. Okay, so here's a little warning. In conventional journal publishing, journals generate revenue by selling them to libraries on a subscription basis. So open access, on the other hand, often involves publishers charging an upfront author fee to cover costs and then making the papers available online for free. The open access movement has produced many well-respected publishers, including PLOS, Biomed Central, as well as Elsevier. Okay, so there has been 2 updates on policies for discontinued journals in 2021. One is the increase of the frequency of the source browse update to once per month to bring it more in sync with the updates of the discontinued sources list and create clarity for users looking for current journal level information. The other one is specific policy for the inclusion in metrics for discontinued journals, independent of the article flow. And there's a consensus definition of predatory journals because there was a group of researchers who met to define what should be called predatory publishing. And finally, they reached a consensus in 2019. And according to this group of researchers, predatory journals and publishers are entities that prioritize self-interest at the expense of scholarship and are characterized by false or misleading information, deviation from best editorial and publication practices, lack of transparency, and/or the use of aggressive and indiscriminate solicitation practices. Okay,
so in the
let's
say easiest way, we can say that predatory journals are pretending to be scientific journals, but the goal is totally different.
Why can I not hear you, Paula?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you hear me? Because I totally
Yes,
lost
I can
voice.
hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, so these are the red flags, but I'm not sure if can you guys hear me at all? Can you hear me, Paula? Something is wrong with my voice. Okay, everyone can hear me. It's just that I couldn't hear Paula for a second now. Okay, well, sorry. You mixed the slides a little bit now because from yesterday, and I'm looking for the one that I have. Okay, let me just check my slides. Yeah, I changed the order, haven't you? Okay, anyway. Yeah, great, thanks. Okay, so common red flags. Okay, so what are red flags? Red flags are actually warnings, okay? So these are warnings that can give you a clue as to what counts as predatory journal. For example, when you discover false or misleading information, such as fake impact factors, incorrect addresses, misrepresentations of the editorial board, or false claims of indexing or membership of associations, misleading claims about the peer review, etc. This is all false or misleading information. Another clue could be deviation from best editorial and publication practices, meaning that the web page even looks unprofessional when you go to the link. And you will also notice that there's poor grammar involved in the text. So there are some pretty rude mistakes sometimes, because many of these websites originate from Asia, India, and countries where English is not predominantly spoken. So you should be careful with these websites. But please note that I'm just giving you some clues as to what red flags are, but it doesn't mean that if you come across any of these clues, you automatically have to assume that it's a predatory journal website, okay? These are just clues to give you a warning and to raise awareness. So another clue could be the lack of transparency, where you will find very little or no information at all about editorial decisions, how they're made, how fees are taken from you, whether or not there's peer review involved in the evaluation process. Also, you cannot find any contact information on the website, no details as to what the processing charges are. Sometimes you can't find the editorial members on the board, or you cannot verify their validity, etc. And the last one is aggressive and discriminate solicitation. So when you see emails which are pretty much just involve messages about getting paid for publication, please pay this and that fee, and it comes repeatedly, then this is a clear warning sign that there's something not okay with this journal scope. And this is an example of a red flag. So this could be what an email from Predatory Journal's website generate from. So after the salutation, you get some greetings, but they're not easily distinguished from genuine journals or publishers. And then the next couple of sentences could be low income countries, usually with a UK address. And then there's some message that often include flattering personal greetings. Okay, you're the best researcher, we've heard a lot about you, etc. And it would be great if you could publish with us, what an honor, etc. And then there could be some indexed illegitimate abstracting services that they promise you. Finally, when they sign off, they just give you, okay, I'm Mr. this and that, editor-in-chief, but there's nothing that you can actually verify or substantiate by Googling it or finding it through some other search channels. And these are just pictures that we've brought to you today to show you what these websites can look like. Because at first look, at first blink, they look okay, right? I mean, they look like an ordinary website, but if you look closer, you can find some false and misleading metrics. So metrics could be like, as you can see on the right, indexing, site factor, GI factor. So anything that sounds like the real one, but it's not, because either it's misspelled or it has a different logo, then you should be careful. You should always double check if you're not familiar with a specific metric, what it actually looks like, how it's spelled, and whether or not it has a different logo, okay? And if you click it, let's say maybe, is it clickable? Does it lead to the right website, etc.?
Or if I may add one thing to the topic.
And if Paula, you have anything to add, then.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys? Yes, okay. So I think that only Vivian cannot hear me.
Oh,
So
I
that's
can now. Okay, it got fixed miraculously.
okay,
So-
great. Super. So I wanted just to add one comment about the metrics because yes, sometimes it can be like fake metric, the metric that doesn't exist in the real scientific world, but sometimes they can also use information about existing metrics, but they will show you the wrong value of it. So also this can be the red flag for you if they say that they are actually indexed on Scopus database, for example, and they are showing you the site score metric, always go to Scopus and check in the database if this is the right number to show, because we saw a lot of journals that claimed to be indexed on Scopus or showed value that is not true. Okay, so this is also one more comment from me. Okay, let's continue then. We have next information for you.
Yeah, so, okay. And of course, we can also differentiate between poor and deceptive journals. So when journals display deception or false information, and they are found to prioritize self-interest, such as monetary gain from you, then they can be considered predatory. So let's go over the details for each of these journal types. Deceptive journals carry information about performing peer review, but this information is false. Also, some false information about the editorial board, like I pointed out in the previous slides. They can lie about their location. They can also give you misleading information about journal impact factors. And they can promise you indexing services, but it's not going to come. And there's information about the costs involved in publishing, which could be a big lie because maybe they promised you some very low fees, and at the end, plus this, plus that, and it adds up to a huge amount of publishing fee. And with poor quality journals, so these are just really journals that you might consider not to publish in because they are of poor quality, for one thing. They're not representing high academic standards. So if you publish with them, then your career as researcher will also be affected because, of course, for your career, from your career's point of view, you want to publish in high quality journals to get acknowledged. And these papers' scope of interest is very broad. So in other words, they promise to accept all kinds of articles belonging to various subjects, no matter what. They can accept or solicit out-of-scope papers as a consequence. And when you go to their website, they don't offer very comprehensive, very clear and transparent information on their policies, on their fees, on publishing services, etc. And their journal is usually not indexed in high quality indexing databases, such as Scopus. And they have no strategy for handling misconduct, so no policy on that either, and no policy for digital preservation either. So even if you publish and it gets published on their website, it doesn't mean that maybe they won't shut down in 2 weeks and there goes your article. And why does all this matter to you as an author or as someone who wants to publish? Well, from the science point of view, when you make decisions about research, it's very essential that your decision be based on trusted data. And predatory journals just don't give a thought about trusted science publication principles. okay? Because all they care about is getting your money. And research published in such journals will be unverified, and therefore, because it's not verified on an academic level, they are not scientific. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Vivian, for the introduction about the predatory journals and for all the information and the definition, actually. We can see that there is a lot of puzzles, let's say, to identify predatory journal, and a lot of questions to ask yourself before you publish.
Yeah, but I hope we didn't confuse anyone. It's like, oh my God, like how am I gonna know from now on if I'm making the wrong choice? It's you know, you have to consider a lot of aspects together, not just one. Not just because they have a nice looking website with all the information doesn't mean that they're predatory. Take into consideration all these aspects that we mentioned, okay?
Yes. And now I want to show you some information about Scopus, because this is one of abstract database that you can actually also use when you are trying to choose the right journal for your next paper. So first of all, why is it worth to use Scopus? Because Scopus is one of our main goals is to provide you with trusted sources. So actually, Scopus will show you a representative curated data set of scholarly sources, and this set is continually updated. So we are monitoring titles, we are deselecting titles if they are predatory or below standards, and you can actually check it, what we are doing, how we are doing it, what titles are indexed on Scopus database, what titles are discontinued and why. Everything is available for you. If you're a Scopus user, this kind of information you can easily check. And today I would also talk a little bit about our processes, so you know how we are choosing journals that are visible on the database and what we are doing next. Of course, Scopus is a lot more than a database that you can use to check sources, but today we are focusing on that, so I will not cover evaluation, metrics, global view, and quality local journals. Maybe this is somehow correlated with our topic, but I will definitely focus on these trusted sources of dissemination as our one of our main goal with Scopus. So what is Scopus mandate and authority? You need to always remember that Scopus is abstract database and is committed to creating a representative curated data set of scholarly content. So we are selecting journals and we are monitoring journals, and this is the only thing that Scopus is doing. Never Scopus can interfere with editorial autonomy of journals. So every decision on the editorial level is made by, of course, editorial board, and Scopus doesn't push anyone to do anything in the particular way. Of course, we have a set of recommendations, we have a criteria, we have our processes to be included on Scopus, but if editorial boards decided to do something else, to go other way, this is editorial decision, and Scopus will somehow react, okay? So if the journal still have a high standard, meets our criteria and go on, this title will stay on Scopus database. But sometimes if the decisions will go that the journal, for example, become predatory, it can happen, then it can be discontinued from Scopus database. Okay, so what we are doing to address the issue of predatory journals, yes, because this is our main topic for today, and for sure, this is also a topic very important for Scopus. So we have a content selection advisory board, which is a board that is responsible for curating the content on our database. And we are doing everything, let's say, together to be able to find this low quality or predatory journals and move them out of Scopus database. We are checking any kind of approaches, and yeah, this is very important that the quality is needed for validation. And this is also something that Vivian said to us, that okay, we have information, but we also need to somehow validate it. So this is very important thing. We are working with evaluation of journals and re-evaluation of journals for some years, and these processes are still developing, because we can also see predatory journals are working in more and more sophisticated ways. So of course, we need to also adapt to the situation to be better in identifying this kind of journals. And this is the decision of Scopus, that the journal can be excluded from Scopus. Discontinuing sources, it can be a decision when we see some, first of all, red flags, just like Vivian said, but then we, of course, are doing the re-evaluation, and we need to check everything before we are absolutely sure that this journal need to be deleted from the database. And the specific evidence of publication malpractice is needed to speed up the process. And this is also something I will show you on my next slides, because this is also a way for you, if you can see any kind of evidence that the journal is predatory, you can share these concerns with Scopus. So we are doing all of it to address the issue of predatory journals. So first step for each journal is, if they want to be visible on Scopus, they need to go through the procedure. Because this is expert curation database, and this content selection and advisory board is constantly evaluating journals that want to be indexed on Scopus database. These numbers comes from 2019. Now we have more than 27,000 titles indexed on Scopus database, but still this is quite rigorous process. So you can see that we are covering around 52% of world's peer-reviewed scholarly literature out of more than 100,000 active scholarly titles. But yeah, we have some specific set of standards they need to meet to be visible. What actually Scopus is covering, when it comes to journals, we have different publishers indexed on Scopus database. And of course, it doesn't matter what is the publisher, where the journal comes from. Is it open access or not? Is it local? Is it from Elsevier or another big publisher? All of the journals needs to meet the same criteria. And right now you can see on my slide how many titles do we have from different publishers. And of course, on the right, you have Elsevier, you have Springer, and all big publishers. But also on the left, you can see the big part called Other. And that means that we are covering also journals coming from, for example, university press, institutional journals, journals that are published by scientific associations, and go on. And all of those titles, they went through the same evaluation processes. And what does it look like, this process I am talking about? So we have two steps, and this is quite transparent selection criteria for all of the serial content. So you can see that on the first, they need to meet all technical criteria, which is a journal needs to be peer-reviewed, needs to have English abstract keywords title, needs to be published on the regular basis, and needs to have publication ethics statement. And this is like a minimum to go into the Scopus. If the journal have the standard, the journal will go to second phase of the evaluation, which will be done by subject chair. So a person connected with a specific subject area to go deeper into the journal evaluation, checking journal policy, quality of content, journal sending regularity, and also online availability. So you can see that we have a lot of criteria, and we are actually checking this for all titles in the same way. When a journal starts to be indexed on Scopus database, it's not like we are stopping there. Because of the predatory journals issue, and because we want to show you only the best quality sources on Scopus database, we are checking constantly the quality of the journals. We have 4 different ways to do it right now. So we are identifying journals that are underperforming. So if they don't meet any of 3 metrics and benchmarks for journals in the same subject area, they go to re-evaluation process. There can be also feedback from you. So this is concerns about publication standards. It can come from author, from reviewer, from even editorial board member, any kind of unethical behavior or any kind of concerns. You can raise in formal complaint to Scopus, and Scopus will take the action. We are also checking publishing performance in Scopus to show outlier behavior based on different things, and we have continuous curation based on this board feedback. So when the journal is accepted for Scopus, the board is actually telling, okay, this journal should be re-evaluated again 1 year from now, or I don't know, 18 months from now. So this is like working constantly also with the journals we already have on the sources on Scopus database. And this is once again like a red flag, okay? So if you send the feedback that you have a suspicion that this title could be predatory and you have some kind of evidence, you can share your case with Scopus, and Scopus will give the red flag to the journal. And then it's not like all the journals that have red flags are automatically discontinued. No, we are doing title re-evaluation. So once again, content selection and advisory board is checking all of our criteria, looking very deep into journal quality, check the journal behavior, check if everything is okay, what has changed, and go on. And that's why that's how we want to maintain the high quality of Scopus sources. Here you have more information, more detailed information if you want to know more about all of those 4 ways we are checking journals. And yeah, this is our mission to make sure for you that you will find on Scopus relevant information and also trusted sources. So this is constant work from our end. And if Scopus decides that the journal should be discontinued, the publisher is informed about this decision. We are not adding new content to Scopus from this date, and content already indexed on Scopus remains as a matter of scientific record. There are exceptions from this. So if there was proven unethical publication practice, content can be also removed from Scopus database. We are not giving site score, of course, to this discontinued titles, and those titles have embargo 5 years. So if a title is discontinued from Scopus, this journal cannot apply again, cannot submit again suggestion to be indexed on Scopus database for the next 5 years. So this is quite long time also of the embargo. Okay, I told you that all of this information you can find yourself. So for example, monthly we are publishing lists that shows you all the Scopus sources. This is a big Excel file, so you will find there all active titles that are still indexed on Scopus database, but you will also find there information about discontinued sources and with the date. So when was this title discontinued and what was the reason? So this is how Scopus works. And why we are showing you that? Because sometimes it's also a good idea to check on Scopus. Go to the title, check this title on Scopus, check it on other indexing, abstracting databases, because you will get more information about it. And basically, if you want to avoid predatory journals, your main strategy is to know everything you can know about the titles first, yes? And Vivian, how to avoid predatory journal? What do you think?
So now we know from Paula and also from what I've said before, what predatory journals are and what harm they can do to you as an author, and how it can actually have a negative impact even on your institution's reputation. But how can you avoid falling into this trap? So if we go to the next slide, we can see here, we've got some questions for you. So when research comes to the stage where it is ready to be shown to the world, in other words, you are ready to publish your work and your search results, then you have to find the right journal for your purposes, right? To find the right journal for the publishing, you can ask yourself these questions. First, you have to determine where does your research fit into, which subject areas, where can it be classified, okay? And then you got to find a journal that matches your journal scope. And you have to ask yourself, okay, I found a journal. Does this journal publish this type of articles like mine? To do that, you can just go to the journal site, or you can go to a database and look for the journal and check for articles that have similar topics and research topics. And then you can also ask yourself, okay, is there a reasonable chance of acceptance of my paper because it fits into their topics? And then the next question you should dwell on is whether the journal is read among a group of people who are doing the same research and who are interested in this type of topics, okay? So is that journal targeting an audience that would be interested in finding out more about your own research results? Is it indexed? Okay, that's important. So you found a journal that fits your criteria. You should double check if it's indexed in a valid database, okay? Because if it is, then most likely it's trusted. Can't say 100%, but there's always reevaluation, for example, in Scopus. So chances are, if it goes through some very rigorous and strict classification criteria, then it's something that's trustworthy. Okay, is it of good quality? You know, the journals, if they're indexed, they usually are classified into categories. So, for example, there's Q1 to Q4 categories for journals. The higher, the better. But of course, the higher the Q ranking, the tougher it is to publish in it. Usually, not always. So, in other words, is it a journal that I can trust based on my observations? Okay, so once you answer these questions, then you can this can help you to stay on the safe side. Now, this Think, Check, Submit is actually a website we recommend for you to use because it can help researchers identify trusted journals and publishers for their research. Through a range of tools and practical resources, this is an international cross-sector initiative because it aims to educate researchers, to promote integrity, and also to build trust in credible research and publications, okay? So you can go to this website, and it has some actually very good clues as to how to identify predatory journals. And you can, over here on this website, you can check, and this is safe and very useful for publications. Okay, and the next slide. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about research metrics. So many of the metrics at Elsevier have been developed with the intent of identifying and understanding research impact. So research metrics are embedded into Scopus, and they are designed to help facilitate evaluation and to provide a better view of research outcomes. And research metrics aim to give a balanced, multidimensional view of assessing published research. Okay, so you should not only check one metric for a journal, you should check multiple metrics because each represent different things. And using multiple metrics can point out the best journal for you. Okay, so, and by the way, if you go to Scopus and you find these metrics, and Paula will show it to you, usually there's information. If you don't know what that particular metric represents, Paula will show you in a minute how you can find the definition and how you can figure out what a certain metric refers to. Okay, so thanks very much. And Paula, let's do an online demonstration.
Thank you very much. So for this part, we already learned what the predatory journals are, how abstract databases are evaluating journals, and of course on the example of Scopus, what we are doing. Some advice about how to avoid predatory journals, and now I want to show you in practice how to use Scopus database to find journals and information about journals, and also those metrics that were mentioned by Vivian. Let me open my Scopus. Can you see Scopus right now? I hope so. Okay, so this is a landing page. When you are opening Scopus, you will end up with this Start Exploring and the big engine for search. And of course, this is something you are using to find relevant literature, but also to find authors, institutions, documents, anything you want. But today we are focusing on Scopus sources. So for this reason, we have a button on the right here on the top of the menu. You can see it just next to search, just next to Scival. And if you click on it, you will end up in the place where you can browse all of Scopus sources. Okay, so this is like a starting point for you. And you can see more than 44,000 of results. And please remember that with sources, we have journals, but also other type of serial content. So even if you go a little bit down here, you can see that we have journals, but also we have book series, conference proceedings, and trade publications. So these are different source types. Okay, what you can do from here? First of all, you can see all of the sources indexed on Scopus database. Second of all, here you have this button to download the list of Scopus sources. I already showed you this on my slide. So this is the place where you can download this big Excel file and check all of the titles Scopus is covering right now, and also information about discontinued titles. What else you can do from here? You can, of course, search for the title. So we have few options here. This is a subject area, title, publisher, and ISSN number. Each of it can be for you relevant in different situations. For example, if you know exactly the title of the journal and you just want to check the metrics, you want to check publications, latest topics, what have they published, and go on, you can go with title, put a title in, and just find the right journal. Sometimes you want to use ISSN number just to make sure that everything is really okay, because what we also see in predatory journals market, we can see that they sometimes they are naming themselves with the title very similar to existing journals. So for example, on my list right now on the second position is Nature Reviews Molecular Cell Biology. What if a predator will name a journal the Nature Reviews Molecular Cell Biology? It can happen, okay? So that's why sometimes it's also a good idea to use ISSN number, because then you are absolutely sure that you didn't do any mistakes in the title, or you used misleading title of the journal. We also can check the publisher from here and the subject area. And I think the subject area is a great place also to start when you are thinking about where to publish my next paper. Because let's say sometimes you don't have this title already in your mind. You don't know exactly what kind of journals are there, what to choose, and go on. So you can go easily with subject area. And with subject area, you can see here all of our categories, subject categories listed here. So you can choose one of those. You can just, scroll down and choose something, but also you can start typing here and choose the one that is most relevant for you. So for example, if we want to go with, let's say, general chemical engineering, and that's my main subject area, I want to check journals for it, I just click apply, and Scopus will show me all the results connected with this subject area. And then I'm right now searching for journals, so I will definitely limit my search to source type journal, apply, and this way, with just few clicks, you have the list of all journals listed under subject area general chemical engineering on Scopus database, and you can see that we have almost 400 journals listed here. And this is Scopus, and we have metrics for journals. So you can already see that the journals are somehow in the ranking list, okay? So it's not A to Z list. It is a list based on the performance of the journals and the impact of the journals. And it's actually your decision what kind of ranking you would like to have. On the default, you will have site score. So the highest site score metric will be on the top and then lower, but you can also go with highest percentile, with the number of citations, number of documents, or for example, very interesting metric, percent of cited papers. So in this Progress in Energy and Condition Science, in this journal, 97% of papers are being cited. So this is also a nice information for an author, because it shows you also, let's say, your chances to be cited when you're publishing with this title. So we have a lot of information even here. Even if you don't go to the journal page, you already see the title and metrics and also additional information. So for example, if you don't know if this site score is good or not good, Scopus will show you additional information here. So it is ranked on the first position on the list of 280 titles from general chemical engineering. So I think that's quite nice information to have. And also we have this small arrow here on the right. If you click on it, you will also see more information about those journals. So we had site score, but also we have SNP here. and we have SJR, so another metrics. It can be also useful for you sometimes. And on the right, you can also see the publisher. So right away, Elsevier, Springer, American Chemical Society, Wiley, and go on. So this basic information is visible from the result list. From this part of the sources, you can also choose quartiles. So if you want to see 25 best journals in the category, just click here and apply. If you want to see 50% of the best journals based on CiteScore metric, just click here and you will see it. Or you can also go with, yeah, I want to see only the best of the best, so top 10% of impactful journals in this category. Anytime you click, just remember to go with apply, and then Scopus will actually show you the relevant results. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can click on the title to see the journal page. And here you have more information about this particular journal. So for example, we have Scopus coverage years. And we can see that this one is indexed from 1975 and still active. We can see subject areas, and you can see that we have here 3 different subject areas, okay? Because this journal is focused in these 3 different fields, and that's totally normal. This information comes from editorial board. It's not like Scopus is putting journals into some categories. No, it's the decision of the editorial board. So the editorial board is telling when the title is accepted for Scopus, editorial board is deciding, okay, so we are covering this and this and that subject area. Of course, we have information that this is journal. We have on the right all of the metrics. And as Vivian told you, you can click on this small icon to learn more. What is it about? This is a very short definition, very short information. What is this metric? You can, of course, go further to our support center and read more about all of those metrics. CiteScore is calculated by Scopus, SJR, and SNP. Those metrics are calculated by our partners based on, of course, Scopus data. What else do we have here? We have CiteScore information about how was it calculated for the 2021, but also CiteScore tracker. So you can see already, this is like a monitoring. All the time you can see how many citations, how many documents for 2022. This is updated monthly. And with CiteScore, SNP, SJR, please remember that they are calculated once a year, okay? So this is also important when you are checking metrics. That CiteScore for 2021 for this journal is 60.6, and this will always be 60.6 for 2021. It was once published, it will not change. And we have categories here listed as well. So in general chemical engineering, this is on the first position. And then we have another information for next categories. And you can also click here CiteScore rank and trend. And I like to do it because you can see then this ranking list for each category. So for example, for general chemical engineering, this is the journal on the first position, but I can easily see next titles and click on the title to see more information about this journal. But also I like this small graph on the right because it shows you also the trend. So, okay, this journal has 60.6 CiteScore. But what is the trend for the journal? So we can go back to 2017 and easily quickly see the trend. And this is actually rising trend. So for us, it's also a good information because we can see that, yeah, the impact of this journal is growing actually. So this is an additional information for us. One more thing, and we will go back to our main topic with Predatory and your questions. So this can happen that you are thinking about few journals, okay? So what you can do from this side, journal side, for any title, you can click here on the right top, feedback, Okay, this is to, for example, share with Scopus your complaint or any kind of information about your concerns that the journalist, for example, you are suspicion about this journal to be predatory, and then you have compare sources. This is quite nice tool for comparing sources up to 10 titles very easily. You can just go here and check more information about this one journal, or you can add any other journal. I remember we had on the list journal with this name. We can take anything. Of course, you will go with specific titles. Yeah, you want to combine. I will just add something just to show you how easy it is. So you just click, and then additional information about next journal is visible on the screen, and you can compare by site score, you can compare by SNP, you can compare by citations per year, anything that you want. So next information, for example, percent of not cited papers, which can be also interesting for you. And of course, last years are still not cited, but they will definitely get some citations in the future. So please also be responsible in using this metric. So yeah, think about all of the aspects and the wide context of it. And this is it. This is just easy way to check more information about journals. And let me go back for a moment to the source page, because sometimes you want to know, okay, what papers are they publishing right now? What is the topic, the focus topic right now? Maybe there are some trend topics published in this journal, or maybe you want to know who is publishing there, who is the what kind of people are publishing there. Anytime you can also click here to view all documents. You can also set document alert, and you will be alerted about new papers for this journal. And if you see all documents, we can see for this title, we have on Scopus more than 800 papers coming from starting point was 1975, as I remember. And you have this magic button here, analyze search results, and then you will see all of the information about, for example, authors, how many papers, countries for the affiliation. So, for example, if we go with author, we can see some names maybe for your field. This will be the list of important people to, for example, read their papers, okay, or check if they are publishing somewhere else. Maybe this will be important for you. So a lot of information in here. Okay, let me stop my share screen and let me go back to our presentation, because what I see is that we have last slides, so maybe we will go through them and then we will answer your questions, because I can see we have some questions already on the chat and the Q&A. Okay, so how this phenomenon of predatory publishing can be stopped? So scholars advise following. First of all, education. So we need to somehow be aware of this kind of journals. And I think this is like a community working together to understand the topic, to raise awareness, and also to provide guides. So this is something that we are doing, I think, everywhere. So at the publisher side, at abstracting databases side, but also researchers, rectors, managers of the universities, maybe funders and bodies that are responsible for grants and projects as well. Also criminalization, so somehow can we penalize the owners and producers that are doing this procedure with predatory journals. The other idea is to diminish the focus on publish or perish. This is quite a big discussion, I would say, and based on different countries and different regions, we can see it can be really very regional specific, let's say. And actions as taken by Scopus, so to provide you with information about journals, to provide you with trusted sources list, to develop this system of criteria and evaluating journals before they are visible on the Scopus database, and also this this process of re-evaluation that we are doing all the time. And selecting the right journal is very important, because you want to, as an author, as a researcher, you want to have a quality, of course, and a good journal can somehow deliver you the quality, but also discoverability, which is super important for you. So as an example, last year we have published at Elsevier only more than 600,000 papers, scientific papers. So this is a huge number, and discoverability, I believe, goes more and more important, because first someone needs to discover your paper, so you get the visibility and impact. Okay, so this is quite important. And of course, research assessment and evaluation. So my last message for you would be to treat it as an investment. So if you are looking for a journal for your next paper, think about it as an investment. And if we have money and we want to invest money, we will not just go to the random bank and give them our money. We will do a little bit research, we will ask colleagues, we will check information about this particular entities and go on. So I would go with the same approach with choosing a journal, and investment can be risky. So here we have predatory journals, so we want to avoid this risk. And this is how I can see it. Okay, I think we will go to the questions. And let me open your questions.
Yeah, we've got lots of questions coming in already, and some are asking about similar issues. Yeah. So I don't think we can get around this, and we need to address the
issue. So I will try to collect, let's say, few of your
so concerns. Many people are asking about the MDPI publisher and whether or not they are really predatory journals, and because they're indexed on Web of Science and also in Scopus. So what's our stance on that? And
so let me first go into this topic. So first of all, MDPI is a publisher, as any other publisher. So they have not only one journal, it's like a selection of journals. They are publishing right now, I think, more than 400 different titles. And if you want to identify if this is predatory or not, you should always evaluate on the title level. So you should evaluate each title separately. We cannot say that publisher A or B is 100% this is predatory and everything they do, this is wrong. Okay, so you need to always be very careful and very aware of different situations. And you can check a lot of information about different publishers, about different titles. You can go to different abstract databases. You can check actually everything you would like to check, because this is available for you online. So you have the information. What is important is your decision, and do you want to take risk or not, or what are you defining as risky, let's say. Okay, last time I asked one person who told me that he will go and publish with predatory journal. Well, it was not like this is 100% predatory, but he had a lot of concerns, and then he decided, okay, I have these concerns, this is risky, this might be predatory, but I will publish there. And I asked this person, okay, so what was the reason? Why have you decided this way? And he told me very honestly, fast and easy. Fast and easy publication. Okay, so the next question is, should science be fast and easy? Or should it be good and the quality? This is always your decision, okay? So I would go with this answer about different publishers, who is predatory, who is not. Always evaluate the title. You have a lot of tools to do it. You have think, check, submit list, the checklist with a lot of questions. Just answer those questions. And please remember that this is your investment. So if you want to take risk, okay, you can go there, but this can be with consequences for you. So it's always up to you, and it's always, okay, what is your goal? Do you want to go fast and easy, or do you want to go with quality and then be more recognized, have impact, okay? Because when I'm discussing with authors, what I can hear from them is, we would like to be published, but this is only the first step for you. We would also like to have people who are actually reading our articles and then who are actually using this knowledge we produced in their own articles, in their own work, in their own projects. So you want to also be cited. Okay, so there is let's say, a lot of things you need to think about, and a lot of questions you need to ask yourself. So you can go with, no one will tell you you cannot do this or you should do that. It's just not the way this world works. So it's always your decision, and you should always evaluate title by title.
And just one quick and last note before we leave. So as a researcher, I'm thinking this could be another option for you to base your decision on. In everybody's research field, we always know who the most reputable publishing authors are, right? So I know that in my research area, which is applied linguistics, who are those people that we often refer to and who we cite. So I don't know, it's just my idea, but a good idea could be to go to these authors' works and check out their references. Okay, so go to their publications and see who they cite. So a list of references at the end of their work. I mean, they will always cite from reputable sources because they're very acknowledged professors or researchers, right? So they can't risk their reputation. Therefore, it would be my just logical thinking that if they cite references in their own work, then those references are maybe not 100%, but mainly reputable sources.
And also we can also see where they are publishing their own articles. Of course, that's another thing. And maybe one more comment at the end about your question with predatory journals that could be potentially visible on Scopus or Web of Science or other databases. As you asked on the chat, so each time you have this, evidence that this is a predatory journal, you have your own experience, something wrong was going on, for example, with your peer review process, please remember to submit your feedback, because Scopus can see the journals from the point of view of the abstract database. So we have information about the journal, we have papers, we have numbers, we have metrics, but actually author, peer reviewer, and go on, you are the people who can see something going wrong right away. And I'm perfectly sure you already know it, that something is wrong. And sometimes the question is, okay, so why do you want to go there and take the risk? Yeah, so it's always up to you. It's always the responsibility of an author. And yeah, just think before you submit. Just like the website, think, check, submit. That's it. Okay, some useful resources for you at the end. So this is something we collected for you on the slides. We will share with you this PDF of the presentation, so you can go there read, find out more information about Scopus, about predatory journals. And also we included here Think, Check, Submit, so you can go there and ask yourself all of those questions about the journals. References for today, also some interesting literature to be familiar with. And at the end, we would like to invite you for our next webinars because we are constantly preparing for you something new. We have this Elsevier Online Training Hub, and hopefully we will see each other on next webinars. And for today, if you want to get the certificate, just go for Researcher Academy webpage, and here you can see also the workshop code for today. We will send this information also via email, so you don't need to do it right away right now. But this is an option for you. So if you want a certificate, it's possible. Thank you all for being here and for listening to our webinar for more than 1 hour. I can see, Vivian. That's
wow.
a lot.
Actually wonderful, and we still have over 300 people present. So thank you so much for being here with us. And yeah, if you still have questions, I'm sorry if we couldn't answer all of them. Just drop us a line, okay, by email, and we will answer your questions as they come in. And there you can see Paula's email, but you can also write to me. Yeah, we don't have my email. Oh, yeah, we do. I was just logged out. So there's both our emails, and yeah, drop us a line if you like the webinar, if you have any questions, and hope to see you next time.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you very much. Appreciate your activity during the webinar. That was really nice for us. So thank you very much once again. And yeah, see you on the next webinars. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.